So we've had some high energies the last 24 hours. So you might be feeling tired. I certainly have been. Body's been processing. And I put a little post up earlier to say we were off, me and the kids today, not feeling well last night through the night. When that energy hit was when it literally physically hit me. But my body always seems to be in tune with what's happening with the planet. I'm an earth sign, so I feel it. And guidance always, whether that's seeing random videos and things to just solidify what my inner knowing is telling me. Nervous system gets hit when these high frequencies come in. So grounding's really important. And so is drinking plenty of water, something I needed to do. So electrolytes was something that I didn't realise would help until yesterday when I was thinking of like the fluid going from the body. For me, I needed electrolytes. And I think all the way through this is going to help as well. The guidance was explaining it like this. So I'm often saying when the high energy comes in, it's like a plug and the fuses can blow if there's too much. And you think of the casing of the wire, the electricians out there should get this and probably understand it more than I am, but this is the analogy my higher self as guidance was showing me. And so I talk about and reference this in class about how when the power is coming in, you don't feel tired because you're drained, because you can never be drained. We're always connected. We just forget that we're connected. But what can happen is that surge of power when the casing of the wiring is bringing that through, so the electrical systems of the body, then sometimes we can be kind of slowly overwhelmed and feel tired, or the density of our body needs to kind of level up and purge what's not aligned with those high frequencies as those fields are clearing. And if you, depending on where you're doing the clearing, I've been kind of grounding a lot into the physical in the last 7 days after 21 days of the daily channelings, which I'm told will resume after this 7-day break, which will be Saturday. And I'm like, we'll be away. So that would be nice because I can do that from wherever we are, hopefully on the beach. So yeah, the guidance was process this. You need to process it. You need to allow your body to clear those fields, let go of everything, because now your new set point is here. So that's what I've been doing, both emotionally with things coming through, mentally, and when the high energy hit last night, physically. But what I wanted to say, so how do I do this? How do you get this? As I've said before, I feel it in my body. I felt the release, and I went on to Instagram, and actually there was a story that was up the top. I think it was Aaron Doughty's story, and it was of the river. And a moment I saw the river, I was like, oh, yeah, that's what I need. The water in my body, the water of those emotions, to just let them flow. And of course, we're in Cancer season, so that makes sense. And feeling that, and the song by Fia, F-I-A, not Fear, as in Fia. I love her. Shout out to her. She's an amazing artist and singer, and her music is medicine to my soul, definitely to many's, I'm sure. But the song, Let the River, literally the song River, and I've just listened to Let It Go, let it flow, just allow the cork to just jump back up. And Thursday is our day of being thankful, and I'm certainly thankful my little madam, my daughter, when they were a little bit off this morning, but they were probably a lot less. They're at a higher frequency, kids anyway, like our animals. and they process it quicker because naturally they do. And she brought me this little platter. Mum, I brought you accoutrements. I was like, what? It's to be my daughter. She cut me up loads of little bananas and apples with a little bit of peanut butter and honey, actually. Although I'm vegan, plant-based, I have this lovely local honey. Anyway, that, and what was the other thing? Oh, I'd made them noodles, which is very kind of homely, and we'd had a lovely family lunch, and I was feeling a lot better, but I was still feeling really tired and drained, and like my body had kind of processed a lot in the last 48 hours. And it made me think about what she'd given me. It's all fruit, it's all high frequency, and what it was I was craving, the water, and I'd had some ginseng, Korean ginseng actually, and she brought me my white witch cup that they bought me this, which she said, Mummy, I've put some Egyptian lotus in here. I was thinking, she kind of instantly knows what she actually more. So the last of it, Egyptian lotus, some onion skins, all electrolytes, great for sleeping. Oh, sorry. And my well woman tea, my yogi tea, she'd put in there, which I think has got angelica. I can't remember off by heart what's in those teas, but I just thought I would speak to this, because if you're feeling it, you could be feeling amazing, and I'm not feeling bad. And even when I was in pain, my stomach went last night and I was processing through, I was working with my body and saying, thank you for the release, thank you, I let go. I was letting my body, that was the other thing I wanted to say, and we were talking about this yesterday, Tuesday night, how we shake in Qigong to reset the nervous system. And I realised my knees were naturally shaking, and my nervous system was trying to naturally reset, which is perfect. And the healing sounds of what I'd gone over, but it was the physical healing sounds rather than the emotional healing sounds, and feeling that resonance, that real resounding guttural sound, like when we chant in the body and you feel it vibrate in the whole of your body, and it affects the vagus nerve on the physical level. That is what helps. And after doing that, the physical act of like my body releasing and purging. So a little bit like when I was having the celery juice, or when you're doing any kind of detox, which is great to do when there's this high frequency. I think we naturally want more of the sun, more water, more of all of those core elements to help us shift and align. What is it? Okay. Okay, they said you can start today. Okay. I wasn't planning on that. I would sit up then. There's a lot of dense stuff that's coming up that we don't necessarily want to see. I saw a video in one of the groups I'm in, and I thought it's really sad, and I could feel what I feel about that, and how I could allow it to maybe lower me down, and that might not help. But I think it's important we go through it. So when I was saying I'm doing this purging, this clearing, the emotions are coming up, sit with the emotions if they're coming up for you. Even if it's random stuff that you haven't thought about in years, it's coming up to heal it. Any contrast is coming up for clearing. It's a good sign. It's a sign you're on the right track. So don't feel like you're going backwards. And get outside and ground, because even though Gaia's template has shifted in the fact that as these light fields hit the earth, the plasma hits the earth itself, its frequency automatically is affected. And in incrementations, when you then go out to ground, if you're doing that daily, then you're going to be leveling up, so that the jump for your body isn't as long. It won't take weeks, days, hours. It could take minutes for you to just, oh yeah, okay, by the end of the day you could be like back on track. So as these fields are clearing, and we're letting go of those thought forms, those attachments to that around us, as things for those fields of the earth and the collective consciousness are coming up to be cleared, when it hits us, and I was trying to explain it to my members like bubbles. Someone in my community has recently died, and I wasn't close to the person, but of course I was sad about this, but my heart goes out to the family. But I can feel the energy surrounded the family and the fields of the family, as sort of empathically how it's hitting my nervous system. And there's part of me that just wants to send love and healing in the way I've always done, to like just send that intention out. At the same time, I'm aware that I can hold that intention for love and hold that compassion in my heart with that intention for that healing to go to where it needs. But I can't change the trajectory of those souls. One, as healers, we need their permission, but two, that some of these things that are happening, although they may not seem like it, they are having an effect and ripple effect on everything around. And I know that's kind of hard to comprehend. I've been watching this thing while I was laying here. I was reading, I love the Korean and Chinese sort of stuff on Netflix. And I was watching this thing called Doom, I think, and about the god of doom, and I thought, oh, doom and gloom kind of thing of what's going on with the world. And I don't normally watch that sort of stuff because I feel like it comes into my field, but what came from it and what I'm realizing, I'm like, oh my gosh, is this awareness of that we have this as a collective. We've got to go through this kind of doom and gloom ending. It doesn't have to be. There's lots of us that remember the times of Mu or Atlantis. I call it Mu and Atlantis rather than of the names that we called them, because most people know what I'm talking about. Then that's not their true names though. But those eras there was a lot of conflict with what happened with the ending and how it happened, that we've cleared over time. And in the subconscious, that's still clearing, still coming up for some people, even if they don't remember past lives in the Akashic. And we all don't necessarily have, you might remember or go back and we'll all remember certain significant and can see through certain significant people's energy fields of reality of what happened. And you generally will, or with me personally, remember the lives that are in resonance and closest to the ones that you are in now, that have relevance to what will help you. I'm going to leave this here. I don't think it's get too long. It'll have to go up on, it take ages to upload. But I've only ever been given memories that help me in my incarnation now for what I'm remembering, or stuff that needs clearing. And what has been really beautiful about my higher self, the way it's come through, I don't know if it's different in the way that people remember differently. They showed me the images separate from the emotions. When the emotions come through, they came through with a block, and it literally just made me scream because it all came through together. It was like so overwhelming, but it was over quickly. But if they'd have given me the emotions at the same time they gave me the memory of the emotion, they gave me the memory of the images, I wouldn't have been able to cope, because no one could go through that in total to remember lifetimes. And I never remember the whole lifetimes, but I went through, when I did a clearing, I literally did remember loads all at once from the witch wound I was working with clearing. So tortures and hangings and drownings and all of those points of death. But, and I wanted to know why it was, I think I was asking Matthias at the time, why it was I was only remembering the deaths or certain points through those life. But my guidance told me that that's a nexus points in time. So it's to do with the nodal points to go back, but because that's the point that the energy transfers, it's the most, and also because the lifetime at the point of death has the most understanding of everything it's been through, the most significant points. So it's this when you talk about seeing the life flash before you, in that sense you pick through the wisdom of that life, and the cells are remembering that. And in our cellular memory, just like when we wander down to the water hole, the tiger might be behind us, just now going, there's no saber-toothed tiger to kill me. That sense is innate. You see it in animals when they do it. It's that remembered, and we are in that state of the reptilian, we call it the reptilian brain. But all these aspects of what we call in modern times are also linked to those ethereal parts of those family trees, shall we say. But we're an evolution of them all. So seeing them, and especially as it's Thursday, as a gift, because we can transcend them. And that transcendence is to take the contrast, the lessons, and turn it into something else, to transmute it into something else, whether that's the energy of the soul transmuting into the next, or the project lessons and failures transmuting into how can I do this better, from a micro to macro scale of the universe. I am kind of simplifying some really, really long and intricate systems there, but just hoping that you'll get what I mean. That's what's happening in an energetical sense. So it's a blessing. I need a shower, so please forgive me. Actually, I'm paranoid about my legs. I need to go and have a nice cold water shower is what I'm craving. But feeling when those things come up, when you're feeling the nervous system reacting, shake and resound. Go through the sounds. I'm going to do a video for this. If you'd like this, let me know. I'm certainly going to be doing it for my Patreon members so that they can practice clearing and balancing these with the sounds for the physical field as well as the emotional and ethereal fields, so that you can do this just like when you sit to meditate and you clear away those layers, so that when you go into a situation, it's never as bad. Doesn't mean it doesn't happen. It doesn't mean you're not going to see the things as in society, that as more light is on the planet, that darkness is going to show up. But it's more thinking, right, okay, how can we change this? What can we learn from this? How can we use this as the fertilizer for our soul and our being to transcend and evolve to better beings on this planet? So what was the purpose of this? To give you a little bit of an update, to say, yes, I'm feeling it too. If you are, to empathize really, if you, like me, are feeling it physically, No, it's not because you're low vibe. It's because you are processing. It's a sign that you are moving through things. You are only ever given what you can handle. And as you process it, as you are able to clear it, you then make it easier for others to do that. The more of us that do that and hold and clear, once it's done in that field, it's easier for everybody else to do it, because it's already the print that collective consciousness has happened. We've cleared it. It shifted. It can shift easier in the others. So thank you for the light workers and for those that are doing that. You are a blessing. That is part of embodying that. That's part of, to me personally, why they call it the Christic, and the reference to Christed, meaning going through that for others. But it wasn't about the sacrificing. It's about surrendering to understanding of love and compassion. Anyway, my love and my blessings for your day, your now moment, wherever you are. I look forward to being back properly. I said that last week thinking it would be this week, but I'm just following my guidance and actually following my heart, which doesn't always fit into the structures of the way society is. I'm aware of that. Not always easy to do this without reservation. Last Friday is a perfect example of that. But I'm grateful for the wisdom that's coming through, and it's part of my journey to share my journey and to keep reminding you that we're all doing a good job. Just keep up the good work. And work by work, I mean, keep that joy, keep that light, and it's naturally laugh. And laughter is so good for raising your vibration and for your soul. In fact, I'm hearing Matthias in an interview saying that our laughter, the frequency of our laughter, can actually just knock whole entities out, because it's so powerful. But anyway, that's digressing to another topic. Love and blessings, and I look forward to seeing you for Meditation Monday.